Edit audio.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robin Hopkins, and this is Well Adjusting, where I talk to people about life stuff, but not in an NPR way. It's more like we're at the bar, having cocktails, getting into your business sort of way.
It's giving drunk NPR.
Oh, and producer Steph is here too.
Hello.
Today we chat, well, when you don't know how to get from here to there. Hello, all. Here we are, another episode of Well Adjusting. And today we have got Eteng with us. And she is in a pickle. Yes, I am 75 years old, and I just said in a pickle. Anyway, Eteng's got a good job. She likes it. It's comfortable. But the question really is this big comfort of her job stopping her from really going after her big dreams? And I am here to say that anyone with a side hustle knows that this question is a real one. But before we lock in on this question, as my son likes to say, I want to tell you that this episode is also available in video on the Edit Audio YouTube channel. I mean, isn't that exciting? The link is in the show notes, so all you got to do is click. And hey, while you're there, why not follow us, okay? I mean, we're ramping up our video episodes, and you don't want to miss that. Okay, now let's get to this chat.
So my name is Eteng, Etta. I do a couple things. So I host a podcast called Consider This for Comfort.
Which so good.
So good. Not biased at all. So essentially each episode a guest is coming on, sharing their favorite comfort TV show. And we're making connections between what that says about society and culture. So I've covered everything from Abbott Elementary to Succession, Severance. So like it spans the gamut of a lot of different TV shows are giving people comfort, respite, etc. for a lot of different things.
Yours truly was on an episode talking about hacks.
Yes. And so our episode was fun too because you're not really a TV person.
No.
And so it says a lot that like even people who don't binge watch TV like I do, like everybody has some sort of comfort show. Yeah. So we talked about hacks, but then we also talked about what is the state of women in comedy. Yeah. So equal parts TV, lifestyle. So I feel like whether you want, the conversation about society or if you're a TV person, I feel like there's something in there that you'll appreciate.
You'll get it all.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, what are we talking about today? I feel like it was something about changing directions.
Yeah. So basically, I'm feeling in need of a breakthrough. Like I've been feeling a little stagnant.
Uh-oh.
I think in particular, I think about the creative career that I am doing. I try not to say I'm trying to do or aspiring. I'm like, we're doing it. It's happening. But yeah, just thinking a lot about what does it look like to take this to the next level. I'm somebody who is naturally kind of risk averse. And I think because I grew up in a way where everything was a meritocracy, like if you do X, Y, and Z, this is the result. And obviously life is not like that. And I think people who have really cool like pop culture commentary types of careers, and it's no shade to them, but like the most successful people aren't necessarily the smartest people. They're audacious. They're like taking
politically
risks.
savvy.
Exactly. I wanna take this to the next level. I feel like I've gotten a lot of really great reception and affirmation around this project. But thinking a lot about, okay, what's the rewiring in my head that I want to do? That's like, you don't have to have it all figured out. You can just take big swings and see where it goes. So yeah.
How is the lack of risk aversion or the like wanting to nail something down, like how is it showing up in your day-to-day right now?
It would be a lack of risk, not a lack of risk aversion.
Or too much risk aversion. Thank you for that clarification.
You're so
Steph.
welcome.
Steph's like 29 hours of jet lag. I'm just like, I don't know where I am.
We're really showing up as our adjusting selves today.
Not less on the well, more on the adjusting.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Once she clarified, what is that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think a couple of things come to mind. I think because a lot of the promotion for the podcast, or I also write a monthly newsletter called Eteng's Edit. The internet can be a mean place.
Sure can.
And I have seen the ways that people, and it's tricky because there are people who have been canceled, whatever, dragged, but where, yeah, you were saying some very blatant, terrible things.
Yeah.
And then I have seen the thing where I'm like, oh, this clip is out of context. And I think someone is misconstruing what this person has said.
Yeah.
And so I think that is maybe one of my biggest fears is that I'm going to put a clip of myself on the internet, which all of the clips are clips of longer conversations. So,
yeah.
But being like, oh my gosh, like not only am I thinking about, does this resonate? Do people like this? I'm also like, am I going to be dragged to hell as a result of this? So I definitely am somebody who is sitting on like hours of content and is like,
so you're not sharing out with people as much as you want.
Yeah. And some of it is logistical of like, I only have so many hours in the day. But I do know there is that fear of like, okay, let me either I take so long to like comb through the thing and I'm thinking from different angles, like, how could this be interpreted and this and that? And so all of that energy then leads to, okay, well, we only shared one reel this week.
You're like, I didn't even post the episode. Well, like, let's come out even further.
Yeah.
Like, what don't you have that you want now? Like what? Like you're doing this amazing thing. People are digging it. Maybe you want to promote it some more, but like, talk to me about like a bigger picture, 30,000 foot view. Where you want to be that you aren't right now.
Yeah. I mean, I love a scenario where I can do this full time. So I love the podcast, and I also see it as maybe this is one of a bigger like media brand. So we've got the podcast, we've got the newsletter. So thinking about wanting to do all of these different things.
And contextually, you also have a job.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What's your lay of the land right now?
Yes.
That's not that.
I feel like that's important to
That's
mention.
very
really important
8 hours of your day.
Yes.
You're like, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
Right. So finding the time to fit in this now passion, but something I would like to do full time is also a logistical barrier.
Now, assuming no one from your day job hears this.
Right.
Because I've had day jobs that I hate. I've had some that have been like temp jobs. I've had some that are like, oh, this really is a good companion for what I'm doing. And then I've had some where I'm like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
So like, what's on the barometer of that? Like, does it just pay for your hustle? Is it comfortable? Like, what's the range of that?
I would say, because I've been there for a little bit, I feel like in this moment, it's very much bankrolling the hustle. I think if, a part of me thinking about feeling stagnant and breakthroughs is like, I am very open to, if we do something else after this. So, but it works.
Is it too
comfortable? It works for now. Yeah, good question. I think
Too comfy?
Maybe too comfy in the sense that I have a desire to do more in general with my career. So I would say too comfy, but I also recognize that I've been able to get these things off the ground while there.
Yeah.
So there is a part of me that's like, don't take that for granted. So I also want to be strategic about, when we make that leap.
All right. Now, do you know what I'm going to ask about?
No.
Okay.
I mean, maybe, but I still want you to ask.
Usually she does. That's why I was curious. But I really didn't give you any hint whatsoever.
Yeah.
What's coming up for me is the Great You Plan. Is like what I'm curious about. So we have this thing called it started off as the Great Robin Plan. I was in this like really bad like work situation that I really, really, really wanted to get out of. And I started this document of like where I wanted to be in a year.
Yes.
And then over time we turned it into the Great You Plan. It's in the show notes, folks. And in it is like what's your 5-year plan? Like, what's your plan for this year? What are things that are stopping you, are getting in the way, or what would you need to fulfill that? And I'm curious, are you doing anything like that? Are you thinking about because it sounds like what it is you want. You're kind of you're living it in the sense that you're hustling after it, but you'd like it to all move over here. Like, because you are doing, not trying.
Yeah.
But we all want that to pay that side of things.
Yes.
So like, have you thought about how, like, what those steps are, or what even the end goal is?
Yeah. I mean, and that's one of the reasons why I like doing the seasonal format, because it gives me time to breathe and rest and plan. And so it feels hard to do that forward thinking while a season is currently airing. So when I think about what I would love to be true by the end of the year, I would love to be making some sort of money from this. I think that would be a great sign. I think maybe some sort of like notable collaboration. So if it's not fully, you got the call from HBO, you're doing the companion podcast, but like whatever, maybe 5 steps before that happens, or like, I've made relationships to people who make those types of decisions, et cetera. Because I think this year, if I summed it up into like 2 big goals, I think it would be growth and awareness. I'm like, I need way more people to know about this thing.
Yep.
And then also monetization. So I think if at the end of the year we've started to make some money, it's okay if it's not fully paying the rent. But then I also think if I can look at the Rolodex of people that I met, I feel like I would feel like this was a successful year.
I think I would encourage you to like do it in a project management of you sort of way, because it's like that's great. But it's like, if you want to maybe like fully transition over here, what would be your benchmarks that you would need to hit along the way? And you just threw out a couple, but I think it might be good to timestamp those.
Yeah.
A little. What's the phrasing I'm working for? A little spreadsheeting of you, if you will.
Yeah.
Hey friend, I'm just jumping in here to say that we've got a new way to get in touch with us. If you want to leave us some feedback, hopefully good, or suggest an episode topic or ask a question, all you have to do is go to sayhi.chat/welladjusting. The link's in the show notes, but I'll say it one more time. sayhi.chat/welladjusting. You could leave us a voice memo and we might just use it on air. And if you happen to be enjoying this episode, why not go ahead and subscribe to the podcast or rate and review us? You won't regret it, folks.
Do you like the Rate You plan? Because it gives you like a benchmark. Because even when we didn't do it, I still read mine and looked at it.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I actually kind of did all the things that I wanted to do the last year that I did it. And that made me feel good, not bad. I was like, oh my God, what a great year.
Yeah.
All these things happened.
Looking at mine and realizing I had only filled out half of the year last year, and realizing that I didn't know what I wanted, that was information I needed at the top of the year. And it has like left me in a place of like, someplace that's not normal for me, but just trying to be gentle with myself, being like, whatever's going to come is going to show up. And maybe there's, for the first time in my life, I'm supposed to be sitting in this. That's what I've been telling myself. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I love it.
But you sound like you're focused. You know what you want, and you're in a space of growth. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think so. I think the thing that I'm not doing, I think there's a part of me, and this is why this is how I know that this is the right type of goal, because there's a part of me that's very intimidated by what I'm setting out to do here. And I'm a Capricorn, very much rule follower. You do this, you do that, was really great in school. And I think when there's a very clear plan or pathway, I'm like, oh, that's easy. But I think the thing of almost the reason why I haven't written down the spreadsheet is because I'm like, oh, I don't have all the answers. I know where I want to go. I'm not really clear on like what else I should be doing. And I'm also genuinely like, oh, this is kind of intimidating. Like, I am somebody who I would like to think I have like pretty high self-confidence, but like all of us, there are times that are like, dang, what are you doing? And that's a tough one when that's like, dang, who do you think you are almost? But then I'm like, oh no, I am the person who can do this. But
especially when you look at some of the idiots who are successful. You're
exactly.
like, really?
Like I could be doing this.
Yeah. I think there's the real need to break it down into micro steps, because a huge thing, like if you're running the marathon, nobody goes, all right, well, today is 20 miles that I'm about to do. I mean, people start off like 3 miles.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you don't break it down, I also think if you don't write things down, time just gets away from you.
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that something about, like, without writing them down, number one, I think that makes it feel more overwhelming. And then two, I do think all of a sudden you turn around and you're like, oh, shit, by the end of this year, I want to have more notoriety. I want to have possibly be monetized. But if you didn't write down the 5 steps for monetization, how would you know if you're on track to get there for the end of the year?
Exactly.
You know, I think it's really granular, but I think I love setting a date and then backing it out. Well, if I want this by December, then I have to have this by October.
Exactly.
Which means I have to have this by August, you know, like setting them in like 2-month increments, because you can really see when you're off track.
I'm curious because you've talked about this like feeling of stagnation, and you talked a bit about it with like your job, but like how does that show up for you? And we don't have to like dwell on it too much, but like, are you like every day, like you open your computer and you're like, Jesus, I can't believe I'm doing this again? Or are you like, you know, sort of conceptually when you think about your future, you're like, oh, I don't really want what I have right now?
Yeah, I think it's a combo. Because I feel like I've been in that space for so long. There's a part of me that's like, oh, wow, like I've been doing the same-ish thing for a long time. And I'm somebody who loves variety. That's why I love living in New York City. It's like one day at a comedy show and here and this and this. And like, so my life outside of work is very, very varied, and literally like no day looks the same. Whereas I feel like at work, I'm like, oh, we're doing this again. Or like the thing that
monthly report.
Right. The things that are getting on my nerves, I'm like, and it's, you know, it's the same types of like frustrations, annoyances, processes. I'm like, oh, this is, I don't feel like I'm meant to be the person who has this very normal kind of like routine thing in general. I mean, and that's also why I'm excited about, you know, this podcast and this thing that I'm building, because I'm like, oh, this is exciting. This is new. It also feels like mentally stimulating in a way where I feel like I haven't experienced that in a long time.
Yeah. So right about now is the time in the recording when it stopped recording.
It stopped recording.
The clean, pristine, pretty audio.
Yep.
Your amazing team cleaned it up.
Yeah.
The other audio. It's just, you're going to notice a difference.
You're going to notice a difference.
We're real sorry.
We're the same in it. So there's that.
We're the same losers. Okay, back to the show.
Back to adjusting.
Sorry.
Yeah, the realities of the world and the economy and the market and X, Y, and Z are kind of the forces that are the reason why I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily, you know, the way that I'm choosing to podcast, I'm kind of like, well, I'm here. So, yeah.
Well, and I also think, like, given the state of the industry, like, entertainment's fakakta right now. It's like, it's a hot mess.
Yeah.
But I wonder if you should start thinking about what's the bridge.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, I think for a long time I thought, I'm going to book X, Y, and Z acting gig. I'm going to get this or that's going to show up. And then I'm going to go right from this day job. And then I work over here. And what I found is the exact opposite to be true, is that, like, I've started making some money over here and I make some money over here. And then some years I make more money over here. And then some years I make more money over here in my day job. And then like finding day jobs that bridged that. I was like, I kept moving more and more into the creative with my day job so that they started to blur. Yeah. And, you know, and that is right now enough. Was that convincing? Did I convince anyone? It's better.
Yeah.
It's better than ordering turkey sandwiches for someone, even though I love that someone that I worked for so many years. Yeah. So what could that look like for you? What do you have any vision of what a bridge might be?
Yeah. I mean, I think about folks who do impact marketing for different films or TV shows, like the person who is coming up with like, here's the social impact angle for this thing. And so because I've worked in social justice and nonprofit spaces for so long, I feel like, okay, I'm somebody who has a lot of experience in social impact. Let me lend this to this organization that may not fully be doing social impact work, but would want someone with that type of lens. So I think about that. I think a lot about philanthropy and foundation. So who are the people who are giving money to these types of projects, and it doesn't have to be as specific as TV and film, but like any foundation who understands that like media work and social impact have a relationship between the two. So,
well, and as a not-for-profit person, I mean, never seen anybody know how to get money more than not-for-profit people. So like that, you know, sometimes corporate people are, you know, we go to the traditional route of like, I want to monetize by turning on ads. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And those may not be the ways that work for independent creators any longer. Yeah. So that's something to think about, is how you could bring that world into monetizing this world. In terms of your Great You plan, what would you need to fill out? What goals would you need to hit to even be in the Rolodex for that call? And for you young people, a Rolodex is a thing that used to work. It was a little paper booklet thing. You would write the phone numbers down, and then you could flip it around. You'd be like, A, B, C. Yeah. Like, so what are you doing any work in that area? Or what would it look like for you? Do you have any ideas?
I'm thinking a lot about the rooms that I need to be in, the networking that I need to do. So I was at On Air Fest at the end of last month. That was amazing in general, but there were so many really great podcasts, creatives, brands, all of that stuff. And so I'm like, okay, what are all of those types of spaces and meetups? Because I think a lot about, where do I need to physically put my body this year? So I think I want to go to more events and things like that. So that feels like a big one. I also think just getting into the habit of letting people know, like, this is what I do, X, Y, and Z. And I'm somebody like, maybe, so we've gone to trivia like Captain Dan's, like, I wouldn't say I'm definitely not a shy person at all, very extroverted. But like, if we're at trivia, I'm not necessarily being like, and I host this podcast but like maybe if we got onto the topic of TV, but so thinking about like, oh no, a lot more interaction that I'm having can forward this goal, because you never know who knows anybody.
The more you talk about your work and what you're trying to build and your goals, the more it's real for you, but the more it's also like out in the world, and so people can actually like help facilitate that.
Yeah, it's like it's such a cold way to talk about it, but I was talking about, it's like crafting your narrative. You know, really what we're talking about, like, sure, we're talking about the entertainment industry, but it is no different than if you wanted to be a CFO at a company and you are currently a manager, you know, a managerial accountant or something like that. And you're like, I want this path. So how, you don't just go, well, I'm a CFO now. Like, someone has to hire you. You have to be going after it. You have to know what your goals are. You'd want to know what kind of company you want to be at. You would want to know what type of company you like to work with. Is it profit, nonprofit? Is it, you know, ethically, blah, blah, blah. What, you know, you would want to know all that. So it's like, it's interesting that when we get into the entertainment space, we tend to just throw all that out and we're like, I want to be over here. And expect anyone to know what that looks like or means or how to get there, including yourself. Like, how would you know to get there if you hadn't mapped it out?
Exactly.
What would be just the biggest, like, if there was no barriers, if you didn't worry about it, what anybody thought, if it was available to you, what would things look like?
Yeah, I love the question. I mean, now the first thing that came to mind is like, I don't know, having my own like talk show or, love the, love the harmony there.
I don't know if it's because we're on a couch. I'm like, I see it.
Yeah. I would love to have my own show. I think that would be very cool. I love the idea of, you know, the podcast evolving into a way, whether it's, you know, something that people can watch on screen. I love the idea of live shows. So I grew up doing like musical theater and was on stages. And so there's a part of me that's like, what does it look like to host these like big events and nights and things like that? So
Okay, so our homework for Eteng is the Great
Great
Youth
Youth
Plan,
Plan.
which we're gonna all do live.
yes,
I
that's
wonder-
the live show.
Yeah.
I'm not usually this prescriptive, but I'm going to be. I want the full 5 years planned out for you.
Oh,
Sometimes-
if anyone can do that,
This is what I'm saying.
yeah.
People just around the 1 year,
Yeah,
they're like, it's all I can do
nice.
for now. No, I want the 5 year build out.
It takes
where
me
you are
like
5.
35 years,
Yeah.
and like you're gonna get to 35. In, like, 2
So they do a PowerPoint presentation. And here we are, day one.
Yes.
I feel it's in you very easily.
Absolutely.
for sure.
Absolutely.
I kind of have like a second bonus piece of homework.
Yeah, let's do
And
it.
I don't know if it's because like we're like friends, but I also feel like I want you to like put yourself out there in a way that feels a little scary for you.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is.
Mhm. Mhm.
Do you have an instinct as to what it might be? Not to put you on the spot. It's okay if you don't have an answer. What's the thing you don't want to do but know you should?
Maybe we land this together because I don't, whenever I feel unprepared, that's when I feel like the scariest. So I'm trying to think of what are things that you cannot prepare for, and that would be the thing.
That's the most Capricorn
I
answer
know,
I've ever heard in my
I
life.
know.
You're like, I actually don't know what I'm scared of, but if I think about all of the preparedness to get here, I'm like,
Basically, what she said is that I won't be scared.
I like that homework though, because
Maybe-
I do
yeah.
think there is something about the stagnation of like, you know, being comfortable. Like going after this thing feels scary, and that's how I know it's right. But I feel like I need to do things more often that are scary to be like, you can do it scared. You survived, you lived.
Or even just less planned. Although I'm asking you to do all this planning, but you know what I'm going to say now. You know what I'm going to say now.
Yeah.
I mean the artist way. You're ripe for the artist way. It's okay. It's a workbook.
Okay.
It's not a cult. You don't have to meet anyone or know anybody. I know. I did sound like a van was going to be picking you up.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's a 12-week workbook,
Okay.
and you do it on your own. You never have to talk to another human being, so it's not a cult. And she
Okay.
never asks you for money, nothing. But the only thing you could do is maybe buy more companion books to go along with the 12-week workbook.
Yeah.
But I'm pick it up, take a look at it. I actually have it on the shelf behind me. You can look at it before you leave.
of course,
Okay.
but the van is outside.
It is.
But what's interesting about it is it's like a journey, and it's like, I think what's really interesting is like there's lots of lists of like write down 20 things that make you happy to do. And it's about feeding your artist soul and then blurting out all the junk that's like in your way. And there's some framework, but because it's like, I just don't want all the homework to be like, make a list. And that's what we've given you so far. And I just feel like maybe there'd be some creative inspiration on the side too that could go together.
Yeah.
After this conversation, how do you feel? What do you like? And then this is not meant to be like props to Steph, because usually all those smart things come out of Steph's mouth. But I mean, like, how do you feel? Do you feel like hopeful? Do you feel like, oh, this is within my grasp? Do you feel any different, or do you feel just like, I just got to do it?
I think it's a combo of things. I think it's really good forward momentum, because I feel like again, as a Capricorn, love very concrete. I feel like we got concrete things out of this, in addition to being able to just admit out loud some of my like fears and anxieties and things like that. I'm also feeling like I want to own more that like, this is what I want to do.
Yes.
You know, sometimes it feels so lofty that I'm like, oh, I'm nervous about saying this thing out loud. So whatever the adjective is for like, I'm owning this.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yes.
we're doing it. We're doing it. We're not trying. We're doing it. And we're committed to like leveling this up. So you started this podcast. You have done this. So what is this isn't the end, this isn't the end goal, but there's something bigger than that. So
I love that for you, because I don't think it can come to you if you don't say it out loud.
right.
And you talked about how you said your fears and anxieties out loud, but you also said your goals and aspirations and everything that you're doing out loud. So I don't know, treat that with the same weight as the anxieties when you're being harsh to yourself. because they're just as real.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm also just thinking about, I can be someone who's very impatient. So to, both of you
No
all
idea what you're talking about.
of like, I would love to just have the TV show or the money or X, Y, and Z by tomorrow. But there is something that feels very grounding of, okay, once we've got these concrete steps of how we're leveling it up, like you have a plan, there is forward momentum. I also it makes me think about what it's like to celebrate or relish in the milestone. So I'm not like, wow, when, I don't want a scenario where I write down this plan and it's like, you might not get to that until 3 years from now. Like that won't feel satisfying. But,
But Aversion might come true soon.
Right.
You can put video on your podcast ASAP, and that's going to feel like a talk show.
Exactly.
You can switch your format up a little bit so it feels like that, and then do video, and now you're launching on YouTube, and suddenly you have a version of it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, what is that? Yeah, what's the 1 year version look like versus the, so I think I bring that up because it comes to mind as some of the things that kind of make me hesitant about writing the steps down, because it's like, oh, you might have to write 100+ things down. Like there might be many.
That's why God made project management tracking systems.
Yeah, this is why Asana exists.
This is it.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Asana.
Asana. I do, of all I've used so many of them. I do like. Yeah.
I just put our co-op board on Asana because it's like, I was like, we need it. And their free version is very robust.
Yes.
Robust.
Yeah. But love a good Asana board. And the checking it off.
Oh,
they have
I love the check off.
Unicorn or the icon. It's so satisfying.
Okay, so you will love the Great You Plan, because every time I've looked back at it, I've been like, oh my God, I'm amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's the thing. There's full directions in there because we're us.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's at the end of the year, you're supposed to check off how you did and archive it so you can see your growth. And you can be like, oh, I got most of that. I got some of that. Or I came up with a totally different new direction.
Yeah.
I realized, oh, I don't want to do that any longer. I want to do this. And then you start moving toward that.
Exactly.
And all of that's growth. It's not linear. No.
I lived in Montreal before I lived in New York. And when I lived in Montreal, I was literally buying a house. I was buying a house in Montreal.
Wow.
And then fast forward 8 months, I'm living in New York. And I don't, never once was I like, oh, that was a bad decision. I feel great about it. And I could have not have predicted that this would be the reality I'm living in then. So much so that I was buying a house. I can't think of a bigger commitment, And I just think about that whenever I'm scared. So I'm I can't know what's ahead of me. I didn't know I didn't even know it was possible to live in the United States, let alone that I would be living here. So I couldn't have predicted anything. So I'm how do I know what's going to be in 5 years from now? It's just sort of making the path of what I want for myself so that it's real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm we really got to do the Great You Plan.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing it. Now, tell everybody where they can listen to your podcast and where they can follow you and all of that jazz.
Absolutely. So you can listen to Considers for Comfort anywhere where you get podcasts. You can follow the Instagram account at Consider Comfort Pod. Lots of fun reels. I have a new hotline segment that Steph actually contributed to. I won't say which one. It's anonymous. But essentially folks can call in and share their dilemma, and I will recommend a TV show that'll give you some perspective. So lots of really fun content like that on the Instagram. That's definitely the best way to get the most up-to-date information about that. And then you can follow me on Instagram at Eteng with 3 G's, ETENGGG. And so you'll be able to see my life in New York City, as well as all my other thoughts on TV, film, all that good stuff.
And your Substack.
And she's great.
She's the best wingman.
Oh, absolutely.
She really
the
is.
way we have gone to events and Steph will do my entire
I won't go to events without Steph anymore.
No,
so it's I just go, what she
How do I make money off being people's wingman?
No, literally. You do it so well.
Thanks, guys.
Yes. So you can subscribe to Eteng's Edit, my monthly newsletter, TV, film, lifestyle, all that good stuff.
So good.
At etengetta.com, ETENGETTAH.com.
It just did look like you forgot how to spell your own name.
I'm just
It's like every time when they're like, last 5 of your social, you're like,
Oh, always.
Thank you
So
for
good.
coming.
thank you for coming out to Brooklyn. Thank you for coming on the show. This was a lovely discussion.
Yes, I've been a fan of this show, Edit Audio, so I'm like, it's finally come together.
Well, we will be on your talk show.
Absolutely.
Just so you know. Although if you're going to talk show, you'll be like, yeah, no, we're booked out.
No.
Early. She's a real one.
I'm like,
I'll create some kind of a media event to get me on. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll put it in my great you plan to be on your talk show.
Yes. And that's a great accountability mechanism. Like, I can't check this off until you have this live show.
So get it.
So every year I'll be like calling you. I'll be like, hi, I'm waiting on my invite for this show.
The only thing I failed on my youth plan.
You gotta get
it's
to work.
helping your career. Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This was so lovely. Thank you.
This is so great. Thank you.
We did it. We did it.
What a lovely chat that was. And folks who are listening at home, you've got those big dreams. Maybe this episode, it's just a nice reminder to think about if you perhaps, okay, no judgment here, but perhaps you've made yourself just a little bit too comfortable. And maybe you could stand to hit up the Great You Plan to plan out your next big thing. It's linked in the show notes, folks, so it is ready for you whenever you are. I mean, there's no judgment in that. There's no time frame, but just know it's there like an old friend waiting. And one other note before we go, I do have to give a shout out to the ever and always amazing Edit Audio team. Producer, editor extraordinaire Maria, as I like to call her, P. Maria, and video editor Oliver Grandis. Wow, they fixed the audio after the memory card just magically ran out of storage halfway through. I mean, seriously, folks, I had like one job. Oh, and a shout out to Eteng for joining us today and sharing her journey. This show, it just doesn't work without folks like her sharing their stories of exactly where they are and what they're going through. Go ahead and check out her podcast, folks. It's linked in the show notes. You're going to love it. For more Robin, and you may need that, you probably don't need it, but if you do, you can follow me at Real Rob Hops on all the platforms, all the socials, as the kids today say. Well Adjusting is an Edit Audio original series. It's exec produced by Steph Colburn and Robin Hopkins. Our producer and editor is Maria Passingham, and our production manager is Kathleen Speckert. Thank you to the entire Edit Audio team and to you for listening. Oh, hey, before you take out those AirPods, this show is just for entertainment. If you are in need of help, please, please, please reach out to a professional. Go ahead and get that help. You deserve it.